Hey everybody, I'm going to be getting back to work soon, so I wanted to squeeze one more of these in just in case I'm not able to for a little while. And today we're going to make my favorite pasta, Pici. It's a thick, long noodle. It has a really nice chew to it. I'd never had it before until I read about it and made it myself. But it's really cool. So I hope you enjoy. All you're going to need for this one is 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 cups of semolina flour, and 1 to 1 1/4 cups of water, depending on how dry or humid your air is in your house. It makes a difference. We got a little bread scraper, or a dough scraper. I'm just going to cut these 2 flours in together. Like so. We can chop it into each other. Chop until it is all nice and evenly spread out. That's together, and you're gonna make a little well. Well, you're actually gonna make a big well. You want shallow, it wants to be wide, shallow walls. That's gonna help you not knock over the walls while you're making it. If you try to put it together and just have one little hole, it's gonna be real hard to put together. So you make it nice and wide. Little walls. And we're gonna add the water and slowly mix it together. That's that. Sometimes I'll do this one in a bowl just to get the flour and water incorporated and then take it out to knead it on the table. Because this one's, when you're making an eggless pasta, it's a little trickier. Just to get the flour all together without it falling apart. Because you knock your wall down and all the water runs out, and then you gotta start all over. It's a pain in the ass. I just use my fingers like this, pulling the flour a little at a time and start incorporating it. Just take it from all the walls. And you want to do it just a little bit at a time. If you try to force your flour into your water too fast, your dough's going to seize up and you're going to have a really hard ball of dough. It's going to be really hard to knead. You're going to end up with a not so nice texture. See, it's starting to look like sand almost. It's good. It's good. Your wall starts to get thin, you can pat it out a little. Make it a little longer so your water doesn't run out. Now for this one, you're also going to need whatever you want to make sauce for it. You want a thicker sauce so it'll stick to the noodle nice. I'm just going to use, I got that leftover cacciatore that I made. So I'm going to take some of that sauce and blend it up and then pull some of that chicken off of the bone. And that's going to be that. Nice and easy. It's already done. Alright, start to come together nice. And bring your flour in. Just keep working it in. A little bit at a time. You don't want to rush it. That's the key to having a nice texture with your pasta. Whether it's an egg pasta or a eggless pasta. It's coming together. Now it's starting to turn into a dough. You still doesn't know. This is where it gets tricky because you want to just shove it in real fast. Just push it in, just a little at a time. Just work it. Your fingers. It's real wet and sticky. And I kind of just pull it apart and let that flour go into those wet spots. Now it's coming together. Just working that. See, this is the part in most pasta videos where people tend to turn the camera off and can't see what's going on, and then you come back and they just got it in a ball of dough. Now it's starting to get pretty dry, and I still got a good bit of flour to incorporate. I used 1 cup. It looks like it's a little dry in here. Probably gonna need just a little bit more water to get all this flour incorporated properly. It's getting nice. It's getting real flaky. It's not bad. It's not going to take much. Probably not even going to use a whole 1/4 cup. I'll start with 1/8 of a cup and see where that gets me. Okay. We got 1/8 of a cup of water. Oh yeah. This is nice. I'm gonna spread it out a little bit. Just drizzle that around. I think that'll do the trick. Start kneading it in, trying not to just shove flour into it. Let it pick up the flour as you spread it and open up the wet parts. Starting to come into a dough. Get a tiny bit more water. Scoop it all together a little bit. Give a splash. Yeah, that's coming together now. So that did it. We use just under 1 1/4 cups of water. That's going to get it together. Once it comes together, you don't want to add so much water that it's still tacky and sticky. Touch it. It's got a nice spring to it already. We haven't even really started kneading it yet. That's going to be the next step. Well, that is most of the flour incorporated. Set that aside. Take my bench scraper, or dough scraper, whatever you're going to call that. Scrape away that extra crap stuck to the table. And now you're going to knead it for at least 10 minutes until it's nice and smooth. So you get a nice smooth dough. Kneading. Take your palm, that guy, you're pushing. You're pushing. You're pulling it. Fold it over. Push. Turn. Fold. Push. Turn. Fold. Push. Push. You're pushing away. Keep turning it, folding it, and pushing it. We'll work the same spot for a little bit, and then turn, fold, push. I'm not going to make you watch me do this for the whole 10 minutes, so I'll be right back when that starts getting nice and elasticy. What you're doing is stretching the gluten in the dough. You're stretching that gluten content. That just gives you the nice chew in your pasta. So it's going to give you a nice texture. So you want to make sure you get it nice and kneaded. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. It's a little bit more about this pasta, which is my favorite pasta since I discovered it. One of the other reasons I wanted to show you guys this one is because we're not going to use any equipment other than our hands in a pot to boil it, and your bench scraper. You don't even really need sauce. You could just melt some butter and toss it in butter with Parmesan cheese and black pepper. Make some fresh ground black pepper and you're done. Or you can make a nice sauce for it. But back to it. All right. That came together nicely. It should be done kneading. See, it's nice and smooth. Another thing I probably should have showed you in the beginning is if you don't want to rip your gluten, you want to stretch it, but you can check it if you pull that apart. See, it's nice and smooth. It's not too strandy. It'll look like a bunch of strands in the beginning. So it's kind of what you're looking for. It's all together if you do pull it apart. So that's good. It's ready to go. I'm going to wrap it in saran wrap, and it's going to rest for 45 minutes to an hour before we start turning it into some pasta. Okay, our pasta dough is rested, so we're going to start making pici. Wrap it. And cut off a little slice. And the warning is, it does take some time. It's not the fastest process. You're going to take the rest of that dough. Actually, I'm going to cut this in half too. I'm going to wrap the rest of that back up so it doesn't dry out. Set that to the side. Take this little guy, start rolling it out. I'm just going to apply light pressure and work your way from the middle to the outside. You're looking for it to get a little thinner than a pencil. The more dough you try to do at one time, the harder it's going to be. The smaller the piece, the more manageable it is. If it does start to get too long for you, you can just cut it down, take a piece off, throw it on the side, and work on that next. That's almost there. If it dries out, it doesn't like to roll on the table. So if it does start to dry out on you and it doesn't want to roll, you can take it between your hands. Kind of warm it up. It should start rolling again for you. With just a little pressure, work it out. Middle to the sides, to the edges. And that is about what we're looking for. Must be something crazy going on outside, like a leaf blew by or a squirrel ran up a tree. That's what you hear the dogs going nuts for in the background. Alright, so that's what you're looking for. It is about that big. Not too big. But a pretty thick noodle. It's going to have a really nice chew to it. So, you want your noodles to be about 7 inches long. We're going to cut these down. That's, try to tell Christine, that's 7 inches right there. We'll actually do a real 7 inches. So there you go. This doesn't have to be perfect. you got, like, yeah, it's a little off. You do want them to be consistently about as wide as each other. That's the important part, so it'll cook at the same time, but if some are a little bit longer than the other ones, it's okay. That is nature, you know. Sometimes some are just longer than the other ones. Alright, and then I like to take that, I get myself a sheet tray with a little bit of flour on it. Put some flour down, put your noodles on there, shake it around a little bit, and that'll stop them all from sticking together. Now while you're doing this, you can get a big pot of water on. It's heavily salted, salty like the sea for pasta, and let that come to a boil while you're making the rest of your noodles. Here's that little piece that I cut off. Just start working that again. Look at that. It's ready to go. Just real light pressure. Work it towards the edges. Not what we tell Christina 7 inches, but I'll just cut that one down the middle. Oh yeah. I'm gonna roll out the rest of that dough and we'll cook it up. This video is gonna get a little longer, but I'm gonna give you guys a bonus shape. So we're gonna make cavatelli by hand. You're doing the same thing. You got your pasta rolled out, same as you did before, and cut it to about 1-inch pieces. Then you're just gonna take first 3 fingers, push down, and drag it across the table. And there you have cavatelli. Yeah. Bonus shape. Alright. Pici is made. And our water is boiling, so I'm going to dump that in there. Should only take about 4 minutes to cook or so. I'll let you know exactly how long this one takes right after. And I got my little cacciatore sauce with some pulled chicken ready to go back there. I'm going to cook this up and I'll be right back. So that is done. I tossed in the sauce, let it simmer in the sauce for just like 30 seconds or so to soak some of it up, and we are ready to go. I hope you guys enjoyed. This one is pretty special to me. I like this dish a lot. Well, the pasta itself, I've never done it with this sauce before, but this one wasn't so much about the sauce. If you do have any questions about different sauces or recipes on any different sauces, just let me know. Be more than happy to walk you through any of that. This is what we got. Nice thick noodle, almost like an udon noodle, if you want to compare it to something. In that cacciatore sauce that we had left over, and finish that with a little pecorino romano, and you are ready to go. Enjoy.